Hey kids, so this is going to be a rebuttal or response video to Doug and Krista over at Big Family Homestead. They were asking about homeschooling and whether or not they should add homeschooling as part of their channel content. Yes, absolutely. Homeschooling is very important stuff that people should be addressing. The education of our kids. I mean, come on folks, the kids are the only reason we're here. The only reason why I exist was to create my children. And so the care and feeding of my children is without a doubt the most important thing in my life. So yes, absolutely add that as part of your curriculum. And if I can add my little 2 cents in here real quick, this is my perspective. My daughter Lacey was going to school. Well, first of all, let me start out. My 2 sons, when they went through school, I was always frustrated with the poor quality of education that they were getting. The teachers were never really keeping them challenged. I myself as a student, I was not a great student in school. I just wasn't challenged. It just wasn't working for me. Their system of education just wasn't working for me, and I fell through the cracks. I was a D and F student most of my time when I went to school, elementary school and stuff. Now afterwards, as an adult, when I went back to school and started learning the professional stuff that I do, being a stockbroker, being a real estate broker, you know, in those things I excelled. But in elementary school, boy, I really had a tough time. And so when my daughter Lacey was going through elementary school, I finally had enough. I'll give you an example. The teacher did this quilt. They put a quilt up on the wall, and on the quilt, each kid was assigned a section. And inside their section, there was 12 little sections inside that, okay? And the idea was every time that the kid would read a book, they got to fill in that section on their quilt. And by the end of the school year, they figured the quilt would be done because each one of the kids in the class would have read 12 books, right? Well, my daughter Lacey, under our tutelage, was a bit, you know, a little over-successful, and she read her 12 books the first month because it was a challenge, and she met it, and she jumped at it and read her books. Well, the teacher would not allow her to fill in her quilt sections because it made the other kids look bad. Instead of using Lacey as an example and saying, hey kids, this is what you should aspire to, they held Lacey down trying to make it better for the other kids. And that's very typical about what's going on in our educational system today. It's just not working. And you know, in today's day and age with technology being what it is, the need for bricks and mortar type schools just isn't necessary. I can tell you that most of the schoolwork that I did in becoming a stockbroker and becoming a real estate broker, I was able to do online individually by myself. A lot of the video editing and production studies that I've done in order to be able to do this and create this channel, learning about websites. I did it online through a video course, and I learned it myself. I didn't need to go sit at some bricks and mortar school and waste my time waiting for the other kids in class to catch up. So I'm a huge advocate of homeschooling because you could really move them along. Now in the case of my daughter, it worked out really well because, see, she wanted to be a dog musher. Yes, that's right, she wanted to be a dog musher. She wanted to come up here to Alaska and get behind her dog team and race the Iditarod and go thousands of miles with just her and her dogs. And in fact, she did come up here and run the junior Iditarod. And she did her dog mushing because we supported her for that, and it worked very well. But as a dog musher, all winter long, she had to be training her dogs, and so she went to school during the summertime. She did the opposite schedule. It allowed her much more flexibility. She spent the summertime doing her schoolwork, and then she was free in the wintertime. Now, as it broke down, it ended up being year-round. She pretty much was doing schoolwork year-round. She did most of it in the summertime, and in the wintertime, then she filled in. We did a lot of great field trips. We got involved with 4-H, so she had a good interaction with other kids, and it worked out extremely well. She didn't have or feel any real isolation. Even though we do tend to live in some fairly remote areas, Lacey was in 4-H. We did shooting sports. We did woodworking, photography, animals, a lot of stuff. She had a lot of interaction. She had a lot of friends. So it worked out just fine, and she didn't get involved in all of that typical schoolroom drama. And I will say this, with Lacey doing her own schoolwork, and you know, there's all kinds of resources that are free online that you can avail yourself of, besides some paid curriculum. And we were not specifically faith-based education. We just, you know, wanted her to get a good education. It worked out very well for Lacey. She was able to do She was able to do what she would do in school in 8 hours, she could come home and do at home in 2.5 to 3 hours. That gave her a whole lot more free time, and she covered all of her subjects. She excelled. She was moving ahead in grades. In fact, you know, she really kind of graduated high school at about 14 because she was able to just knock through all the information so quickly. She's gone on now to the University of Alaska here in Anchorage, and now I understand she's transferring to Cambridge in London. So she's working stem cell research or some such thing, you know. She's a brilliant, intelligent, self-sufficient, secure individual now, and a lot of that had to do with us homeschooling her. We were able to help her build and mold into a substantial human being, and we were able to expose her to a lot of good resources. So yes, talk about homeschooling. It's a wonderful thing. It is so much better than the you know, babysitting type situation that most people in America are dealing with today. I'd love to see more people start homeschooling their kids and taking responsibility for their kids' lives. After all, guys, the only reason why they're here, the only reason why you're here is because you had kids to further life on Earth. So, Doug and Krista, yeah, please do add that. So this is Grandpa with my little reaction to Doug and Krista's video. You know, I might do more of these if they don't mind. I might jump in and try to make some comments on stuff. I do like to do that with some other videos, and, you know, maybe I should mind my own business, but I think it's good to sometimes get opposite perspectives, and I think it's great to do some kind of video response videos. So if you guys agree and like this, then let me know. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow. Bye.